Welcome to the top of the morning show. It's your girl TT from the D. I hope that you guys are having an amazing day today. Today is Hump Day Wednesday. I had to come back, ladies and gentlemen, and do a specific segment. I love touching on this topic, especially for my entrepreneurs and customers. And today we're going to talk about the importance of customer service, delivering great customer service. This morning, I want to share with you 10 ways to deliver great customer service. I'm going to share some of my recent experiences when I was in DC and Virginia this past weekend for my fourth annual girls trip. I hope that you guys will take note. So if you are in the industry, whether you are an entrepreneur, if you are a worker or an employee, doesn't matter. Employer, I should say, doesn't matter. We're going to really kind of dive into it. And I was really, really reminded, as I'm big on customer service anyway, but I was really reminded with my encounters with some amazing people when I was in DC and Virginia this past weekend. And so, first up, I want to shout out Walter from Bar Taco in the Wharf in DC. Okay, his name is Walter at Bar Taco in the DC area, the Wharf. Why do I want to shout out Walter? Well, let me tell you. At Bar Taco, we walked in after our brunch on a ship, and it was crowded, but wasn't super crowded. He was super busy. And we sat at the bar, and we're like, "Can we eat here?" He goes, "Yeah, have a seat." And then he poured our water, and it was so hot. Oh my God, it was like 97 degrees that day. And this was on Saturday. And so this past Saturday. And so I drank that water so fast. I said, "Hey, Walter," I was like, "Do you mind giving us a carafe of water? Because I'm really, really thirsty and I don't want to have you running back and forth trying to get me water and I know you're busy." He said, "Oh, no, don't worry about that. That's part of my job and it's my pleasure. It's no problem. The water is right here. I can get it as much as you need it." And I was like, "Oh, okay, well, thanks." So he did that. And then we asked about certain margaritas. And so he gave us a breakdown and explained everything. And it started getting more busier and more busier. Not only is he serving all the people that's at the bar, and not only at the people at the bar all sitting, but there's people standing with the people that's sitting. So it's double. So let's just imagine every seat had 2 or 3 people standing by them. It was like a party at the bar, right? It was a whole vibe, and he handled it well. And so he was he stepped away from the bar for a moment, and then a new shift of people came on because we were there for a long time, right? Our crew was just having a great time. He was making those drinks, and they used this fresh press for their lime juice, lemon, whatever you want. Those type of, oh my God, fresh. We watched him just, I got it on video. You don't believe me, and I'm going to be sharing that as we go through the week. However, there was a shift change, and so there was a young man. I can't remember his name, but I know the nickname he said they call him. And I don't want to get anybody in trouble, but I just didn't like his energy. I specifically asked him, I said, "Hey, dear, where's Walter?" He's like, "Well, Walter's not up here at the moment. Is there something I can get you?" I said, "Well, no." I said, "He's been waiting on us the whole time, and I really wanted to talk to him." He's like, "Well, anything that Walter could do for you, I can do for you. What can I do for you?" I said, "You know what? Did he leave for the day?" He goes, "No, I don't think he did." I said, "Okay, well, you know what? I'm going to go find Walter." So I went and I walked over and I found one of the managers, and I definitely told him my thoughts of how amazing Walter was. And I know somebody had said whatever they said about him, I guess, earlier in the day or something. I was like, I don't know what that was. And sometimes people don't have that grace. Some people don't want to give you grace. And we should give grace just like we want to receive grace, only on a daily basis, not for just what people do for you, but on the fact of it's just the right thing to do. We want to give grace and mercy just like we want to receive grace and mercy. Y'all agree? Y'all agree with me? Yeah, it's important. And when we forget to add those two, what should be natural traits to our interactions with other human beings, it can leave a different type of impression. And so I wanted to shout Walter out. And then I also want to shout out Trey from Seal Social, which is located on 6th Street in DC. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Another great customer service expectation. And I'm going to tell you why. We got there. We were the first there after church. Beautiful vibe, beautiful view. Everything is amazing. He let us know. He brought us out the drink menu. And then he brought us out a menu. And he said, we're only doing brunch at this time, but you should come back for our dinner menu. He started telling us things about the dinner menu. And I'm thinking like, oh my God, unfortunately, I don't live here. But, I'm only here for brunch. And, we have dinner plans already. So I was like, the way he was making it sound, I was like, damn, I wish I was coming here. And so I was like, okay, we'll look at the brunch menu. So we were still waiting for some more of our sisters to show up. And so I was getting ready to go to the restroom, and I said, hey, can I ask you a question about something? It was a drink thing they had. And he says, I think it was called the format. Don't quote me, but I think it was called the format. So he says, we don't have that anymore. And then he explained to us why they don't have it anymore. And I'm like, oh, that's too bad. So then I said, well, what about the Bloody Mary? He goes, we're not doing a Bloody Marys right now. And we also didn't have this other thing. And I said, well, let me ask you this, Trey. If you don't have the things that's on this particular menu, I said, then why do you serve this menu? Because you're teasing us now as customers. If it's something I'm like, oh my God, I want that and I can't have it, and you're showing me that I should be able to get it, yet there's no sign or anything telling me, you're telling me that, but you got too many things missing. So he says, you know what? I apologize. He was like, I just work here. He says, but changes are on the way. And, he said, I thought they would have changed up the menus by now, but they're working on it. He was like, my apologies. I says, well, you know what? It's not your fault. I said, you're doing your job and you're doing a great job. I said, I'm only asking because I'm a podcaster. Okay. I said, and I travel a lot and I love to go places. I love to share with people, family, friends, and even my listeners. I was like, so I'm going to go on and let them know whatever the experience is. And I said, I predict we're going to have an amazing time with you, but I do want to let them know, like, that's something that people need to know. And as a business, the business needs to know. I said, as a matter of fact, I'll reach out to the restaurant at a later time and I'll just say, hey, I had a great experience. I said, because I'm predicting we're going to have a great time. And he was like, I appreciate that. I went to the restroom. I didn't think nothing else of it. I thought like, oh, I'll just get a regular old margarita, or I'll get like a mimosa. It's brunch, whatever. Hopefully the food is good, right? That's what I was thinking. Came out. One of my sisters was like, oh my God, we got a free round of drinks. I was like, from who? Because I'm looking around, there's no other table. And they're like, our server. I was like, really? So he came over. He says, I just want to let you know, I do apologize. I want the first round of drinks to be on me because, I want you guys to have a great experience. I said, you don't have to do that. I said, I appreciate it. I said, but I just, I said what I said because I'm a podcaster. I was like, that's my thing. I want to report the good, the not so good. And, I want to let people be informed. And so he says, well, I just still apologize or whatever. Super sweet. So we put in our order, and then the food was coming out like, oh my God, fresh, hot, delicious. Shout out to Chef Brandon. We'll get to Brandon in a moment. And so next thing we know, he's bringing over a shot, 4 shots. And I'm like, who ordered that? And he was like, my manager did. I let him know what was going on. And he said he wanted to, the least he could do is give you guys a round of shots. And it's something we made for you guys. So we're like, okay. So it was a lemon drop shooter. It was a shooter. And now I've never had this done. I was like, what? Lime was dipped in sugar. Oh my God. When I tell you the shooter was the lemon drop shooter, oh my God. Okay. I ordered the waffles and chicken. It is the bomb. Tender chicken, juicy. I asked for it well done. Not only was it well done, it was tender, juicy. I didn't need my knife. I could cut through it with my fork. Do you hear me? I'm just reliving it. And then I also had the waffle was light and fluffy. The maple syrup. Oh my God. When I tell you I didn't have to ask for extra syrup. Normally, there was no salt and pepper on the table. I didn't have to ask for the salt and pepper. I didn't have to ask for extra syrup. Everything was not only plated beautifully, it was proportioned wonderful, and it tasted delicious. And our drinks was on point to the second power. And so I asked who was the chef, and what's so crazy is the guys were kind of just sitting over there, and because there was nobody else there, remind you, okay? And he says, "Oh yeah, that's the chef sitting down with the dreads." I'm like, "What?" I said, "We got to talk to him." He said, "And that's my manager Fred who sent you the round of drinks." I said, "Oh, I got to go over there." So I went over there, me, TT being TT, and I went and introduced myself, and I asked Fred to come up to the table. He spoke to the ladies, and we were just telling him how wonderful Trey was. And when he walked away, we talked about how amazing that was to have that one-on-one. He sat back and allowed his staff to do what they do. And we didn't ask for a manager. We didn't ask for no accommodations. We didn't ask for no discount. We were just going to be cool, right? They opened up the doors. They did, out to the outdoor wraparound patio, rooftop views, breathtaking. And we took photos and videos. I'll be sharing that soon this week if you haven't seen any of the footage thus far. And so we were like, Fred dope as hell too. And so I said, I'm about to go over there and talk to Chef Brandon. So I went over, talked to him, gave him his praise, gave him his flowers, and brought him over to the table, introduced Chef Brandon. We talked with him. Overall, we had an amazing time. We took photos on the other side. You'll see those. It made you think you were somewhere in Italy or something. It was phenomenal. From the moment we got off the elevator, because it's located in the penthouse of the AC Hotel on 6th Street, amazing. And it's Ciel Social. So that's CIEL Social. If you go there, see Fred, he's a manager there. Tell him TT from the D told you all about him. Ask for Trey. He's amazing. Tell him TT from the D recommended him for you. And shout out to Chef Brandon. He said he's there 6 days a week. And he explained how he proportions things, how he prepares for guests. And Fred expressed how important it is for his team to be on point, but also for him to stay on point. And he also let us know that they will be having the next brand new menus because he made a phone call about expediting that because they don't want that to be people's thought like, we came and this was missing, that was missing. He said, so in the next 2 weeks, we'll have the menus. I said, unfortunately, I won't be here, but I know I'll be coming back. And so Charity lives out there in the DC area, and she's like, I will be coming back and bringing friends. And so I know she'll share that with us. So all of that to say, shout out to Ciel Social for amazing customer service. Amazing customer service. Yeah. Now, as promised, I'm going to give you 10 short tips on how to deliver great customer service. If you are in the industry and in the business of being a person who gives customer service, think about it. Anybody that comes in and patronizes your business, you're giving them customer service. Anybody that you engage with, whether it's on the phone or face to face, you on the other end, if they are the consumer or the buyer, you are the customer service rep. You are to provide that experience that will leave them talking about you. As I just talked about the fellas from Ciel Social and Walter from Bar Taco in DC down at the wharf. So one thing you could do is know your product. And for both places and anywhere, this experience I had, which prompted this show today, they knew what they were talking about. They knew why things were happening, when things were going to happen. And for things that wasn't happening, they know the how. how they were going to rectify that. And that's important, right? It helps the customer get the most out of their experience. We're paying our money. We work hard for our money, right? So when we spend our money, we want what we want. And we want it to be given to us with a smile. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's be clear. Don't go in there acting like a prima donna. Don't go in there acting like you like a prince or king. You are a king or a queen. If you are a male, you are a king. And if you are a woman, you are a queen. But go on and act as such with grace and patience, because you don't know what it takes to get them people to do what they do to make you have that great experience. So don't add to the issue if there is one. Add to the resolution. Okay. 2, maintain a positive attitude. If you are providing customer service, attitude is everything. And a positive attitude goes a long way. It can not only increase your tip, but it can keep people coming back, sending people to you. So it's about how you say it, not what you say. Okay. And your actions, they always speak louder than words. All right. Another one, the third one is creatively problem solving. I say out of what happened, what I just shared, Trey used a creative problem solve, right? And I ain't gonna say that's what he always does, but he saw like, oh, this is an unhappy customer at no fault of his own. What can I do to deliver the best customer service experience? And they won me over as a foodie. And y'all know I'm a foodie. If you know anything about TT from the D, myself, my husband Swifty McVeigh, he's a foodie. Hell, our sons are foodies, okay? And so we have friends that are foodies. I have friends that are chefs. And so they own restaurants. And I always see amazing, amazing customer service. So I expect to see it out in the world. Number 4, respond quickly. If there's an issue going on, resolve it as fast as you can quickly. But quick thinking fast on your feet, okay? Speed should be of essence, importance, not just like, okay, we'll get to it when I can. I'm not sure. Even with a seating issue, let me talk about Hell's Kitchen. Um, oh God, I can't remember the manager name. I think his name was Nico, but I'm not sure. So, but he was nice. We had reservations and we were sitting on one side, but Hill's Kitchen in the wharf, I don't know if you've been there, it's off the dock, the marina. Beautiful. It's right off the water. And so it's a beautiful view. And so we wanted the view side. And so when the lady, we didn't even sit in this booth. And I asked her, I said, excuse me, dear. I said, we would like to sit on the other side with the view. Do you have anything on there? I said, and how long is the wait? Because we don't mind waiting. So she was like, well, that side doesn't really seat just party of fours. It's for like our bigger parties. And it's pretty much filled over there. So while I was talking to her, one of my other sisters walked over there. And I'm still talking with her. And she was like, and there are people ahead. And I was like, okay, no worries, no problem. So I walked over and I saw 2 4-top tables empty. I saw a booth that could have had 6 people in it with 3 people. I saw another booth with 4 people that could have 6 people. So I said, well, she didn't tell the truth about the party size. So I just looked over at my table and, the 3 of them was sitting there. I casually walked on downstairs. Went down. There was a young lady down there. I said, what is your wait? I would like to wait for a table on your side with the view. I said, we have reservations. We didn't request the view side. However, we would like that. We're not from here. We want to have the ultimate experience. So a gentleman came down and he was like, is there something I can help you with? I said, yeah, everything is well. I just wanted to find out what your weight was. I said, I'm with a party of 4. And from what I was told, there was no room on the other side. And there was. I don't know how many people you have waiting ahead of you, but I don't mind waiting. He says, you know what? If you give me a moment, I will work with you and I'll take care of you. And I said, okay. I said, I'm with a party of Jones. And he's like, no problem. He like less than 2 minutes. Okay, follow me. I'm like, oh. So the lady come down the stairs that set us and she's looking at me and not with a smile, but looking at me like, oh, I know you didn't just come down here. Yes, I did. Because you radioed, like you used your Secret Service earpiece to do some talking, but it wasn't talking about what I wanted to hear. You know what I mean? You weren't saying what I needed to hear. So we went upstairs. He went to the table. He goes, okay, you guys can follow me. And we had the perfect table. Amazing. And again, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. I didn't go down there with ignorance. I went down there with grace, calm, and expectation. that I'm a customer getting ready to spend some good money in here, and I want to have the experience. I'm sure Chef Gordon Ramsay would want us to have the experience if possible as well. And from that moment on, it went awesome. Okay. So the response with them was quickly on behalf of the manager, not the hostess. Hostesses, if you are out there, yeah, you know how they be like, oh, take it to table. Because let me tell you, let me be clear how I know. I've worked in the food industry. So I was a hostess and a waitress and a bus girl to Pasquale's, a beautiful Italian restaurant that no longer exists here in Detroit, Michigan. They were really in Royal Oak, but they were amazing. I learned so much from the Del Judas family. Shout out to the Del Judases. Amazing. They became friends as well. And customer service is everything. And how you greet your people and meet your people is imperative. It stains or it makes a beautiful impression. It could go either way. Okay. Number 6, help customers help themselves. And that being said, customers don't always want to talk to someone to get the problem solved like me. We just want a quick resolution. Okay. Like earlier when I was talking about Seal Social, I was just talking about the menu, why, they should not have menus out that don't have all the things or missing so many things. One thing, two things, but more than that, it's a problem. He quickly was thinking about how to help me have my ultimate experience. Okay. And he allowed me to think for myself, but he allowed himself to think and let me see he was thinking with a quick and easy resolution. Okay. Now, if you are unable to answer a question or a request, then you get help from a manager or your superior, right? And for me, when I was a hostess, if that would have happened, what happened to us, if a table was like, you know what, which it has happened several times, hey, can we have that table over there? Yeah. And all I'm going to do, if I'm in passing and if another hostess is taking somebody, I'll say, I just took table so and so if you were going there because they wanted that. Customer happy is our main concern. That's it. So when I get back to the front desk, I'm going to let them know, hey, I said that family, they wanted to sit at so and so. It was open. And so I figured we'll just wait. And they're like, okay. Never did I have somebody say, why did you sit them there? I was reserving that for somebody. No. And you make it right. Let the manager go over there. And I don't care what that looks like. Even if the manager has to say, hey, this was reserved for whomever. And it was like a person, maybe they come, they're a business person and they reserve this particular table or a couple and is there, whatever, you understand? But make it work, make it worth their while. Like, I'm so sorry. They set you here. I know you wanted a table on this side. I'm going to work on that, but I'm going to need this table. And I would just ask for you to have a seat at the bar, your drink of choice from our happy hour cocktail service, or, choose any glass of wine, or, let me come over. I want to, buy you guys a drink. And then as soon as the next table opens, you guys are next over there. And then I would top it off with an appetizer once I got them there for just being patient, understanding, and working with me. And that speaks volumes. Okay. Number 7, focus support on the customer. Now, I will say this. It's times that will arise that you may want to approach things different because we are human first, right? And sometimes we act before we speak. But if we could just slow our brains down and realize we are all human and time is everything, but how you treat people and handle people is so important, right? We know the customer's always right, but you gotta, even when they're not right, you still have to know how to handle them and make them know that they got it, right? Number 8, actively listen. Instead of trying to interrupt, let them say what they got to say, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. If they're complaining about something, if they are upset or unhappy with something, hear them out. Be attentive, be present in that conversation. And I apologize on behalf of whatever the situation is. That is not this customer service that, we give out here. Everybody is entitled to have a bad day or a bad moment, but at no time are we to provide blah, 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 whatever that looks like. I will go and address that with our manager. I'll speak to the person. And in the meantime, I would love to send a dessert of your choice over to your table for each of you if it's not a big, big party or whatever. Or let me send shots over because that has happened to groups of mine. Shots were sent over and, It's something. And if you like, no, it's not, that's one thing. If they don't want it, no, you don't have to do that. I just appreciate you listening. You'll be surprised. And I mean, you'll be surprised. Active listening means you are mindful of their thoughts, their wants, their needs, their concerns, and you're meeting them where they are with the best response possible. Number 9, keep your word. If you say you're going to do something, do it. If you promise you're going to make something happen, make it happen. Okay? Number 10, be proactively helpful. Going the extra mile. Doing your due diligence, but going over and beyond. Sometimes that might mean that you are helping out in things you don't normally do, but that's okay. You are after providing the amazing level of customer service that I know that you have within you. Well, that's all I have on this beautiful Wednesday morning. I hope that you have an amazing week. We are at the midweek point, y'all, where it's hump day. So it could have been a stressful day, a difficult day, a beautiful day, a happy day, a peaceful day, whatever kind of day you have, wherever you are in the world. I hope that it was great. And for those of you that work the afternoon shift or the midnight shift, the graveyard shift, I want you to have an amazing work experience as well. Whatever you're doing, I hope that you're treated with kindness, grace, mercy, and love, and patience and peace. And until the next time we leave footprints across the sun, it is your girl, TT from the D, and I'll see you soon.